What's good, everybody? Just figured I would come on and actually talk about some beginner-friendly chords. I figured I would actually do that because I'm also I very much support just going back to the basics. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to the basics and just talk about some beginner-friendly chords that still sound good and that are still very useful. And so that's what I want to do. Now we're initially going to start off using the caged system chords. We're going to start off with that. Then we're going to get into a few other chords. And because you can't deny just the regular beginner friendly chords. But I feel like there are some things that aren't mentioned about those chords. So let me just go ahead and start. Actually, should I? Forgive me while I'm actually setting this up. I should have set it up before I started. But I'm actually gonna set this up in a way to where maybe you can see my hand a little clearer, and maybe we can work it out. So I hope everybody's day was actually pretty decent. But like I said, we're gonna start out with caged chords initially, and then we're gonna get into some other stuff. Okay. All right, this is gonna look real ghetto at first. So here's my other camera. I wanna set it up real quick. So if y'all don't mind, I'm actually gonna attach it a certain way so that I can make sure that it sees me. So those of you who are on, just be patient with me if you don't mind. I don't do these angles often, but I'm gonna actually do it today. Where's another song? Where's the other song that I play sometimes? Here it is. All right, maybe we'll get that to work. Let me see. All right, so some of you may actually have questions about some of these chords. And let me see. All right, let's see if I can zoom this in. If I can zoom it in, it'll actually work pretty well. Okay, that might work. So here's the other angle. It may actually work. I might want to move this out of the way. So I might do that angle. And that might work for some of y'all. It might not work for some of y'all. Okay. So it's basically this way you're able to actually see it like you're actually looking down at the guitar, okay? So don't get confused, okay? This is intentional. This is actually one of the views that I use in my community so that you can actually see it the way that I'm looking at it, okay? Initially, I wasn't gonna do that, but I'm feeling pretty, I don't know. I'm just chilling tonight. I was about to go to sleep, but I figured, hey, why don't I go ahead and share some stuff? So anyway, I'm gonna use the caged chords to start off with. And these chords are, some of y'all already know, you know how to spell caged, the C-A-G-E-D, and I'll briefly go over those, but I'm gonna share some other stuff in relationship to those chords and how you can actually use them. It kind of goes beyond, you know, just playing a chord. Okay, let's turn that off. All right, so I know I took like 6 minutes to get started. I often do that, but you know, hey, don't mind me. I just say, you know, stick around. We not doing no microwave instructions anyway. So let's start off with C. Most of us know what C is. All right, and here it is right here. I have no illustrations. I'm gonna play it, but I will turn my camera upside down, okay? That's the actual position right there, okay? Now let me show you the upside down view, and you can see how it looks that way as well. And these are for, you know, beginner individuals. You know, maybe you don't know what that is, but this is a C major chord. All right. So let's talk about that for a brief minute. So this C major chord, oftentimes when you learn this chord, you know, a guitar teacher might say, hey, just strum it up and down. And that's cool. You can do that. Or you could just strum it down. But what are some other things that you can actually do with this chord? Well, you can create melodies. You can create just other little stuff with it, okay? Now let me go back to my upside down camera. And this is actually the closest that I can get. This is the closest that I can get. Let me see. I don't know, maybe I can get a little closer. I can. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. So let me move this down. All right. So now I'm just going to show you a few things. So one thing that'll kind of eliminate the boredom of knowing how to play, you know, one chord or just a couple of chords. Here we go. Just go ahead and strum that as you normally would, but you also have like a free pinky right here, okay? And you can drop your pinky right here on this 3rd fret and it will play this. Now this is still a C major, but if you can manage to use rhythm to incorporate some colors, you know, you can strum this. And since your pinky is over here, you could actually drop it in this fret as well. See that? So that's like an extra little thing you could do. And while you're at it, you know, I'm not going to name all these chords. I'm just telling you what you can do with the chord as you're actually playing it. While you have this free pinky, you could also put it here. At this point, it's no longer a C major, but this right here, it just gives it a little color. like a C sus4. Okay, so you can use this pinky, place it in the 3rd fret on your high E string or the B string. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see that. Or 3rd fret of your D string. That's another thing that you can do. Or you can play the C major, right? But lift your index finger, and that's actually a C major 7. So these are all different variations. These are like different ways that you can color the chord up. So, and that's if you just want to strum and so these are chords that you can play without moving it around to play in a different position, but you can actually just, and I'm only strumming down, okay? Let me maybe I can get a different tone. But yeah, those are just like a couple of little things that you can do with this chord in particular. Okay, so just wanted you to see that. All right, so that's one. That's the first one. So next, let's go to the A. This is A major. And this is going to be like a similar type of thing. I'm not going to name all the chords, but we're going to do A major now. So here's A major. Now you can either use your 3 fingers here in the 2nd fret on the D, G, and B string, or you can flatten a finger as long as you're not getting in the way of that high E. You can play it that way too. If your index finger is too fat or whatever, try using your pinky. Okay? Easy enough, right? But also, if whatever song you're playing, or maybe you're not even learning the song, maybe you just want to be creative and just strum, you could actually just flatten it the whole way. And that is a chord. It's no longer an A major, but not bad, right? But if you want to lift it back up, and you're creating a little bit of melody there, okay? Or with your pinky. Now let me show you upside down. Here we go. So this way you can see it the way that you're looking at your guitar. Now this kind of confuses people what I'm doing sometimes. Now if there's someone watching, if this is helping you, let me know. If it's confusing for you, we'll just rely on the upright part that, that I show. But this can help people who actually learn that me showing this upside down view is the same way that you're actually looking at your guitar neck. Okay, so that's why I'm showing it that way. So yeah. All right, that's just 2nd fret on these 4 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that's really what it is. Now there's more that I can do with it, but let me show you this one other thing. So conveniently, this is the A major, but if you only play the D and B string, you're actually going to play a dominant 7th. So I'm putting my finger here on the D string, 2nd fret, and 2nd fret on the B string. All right. And keep in mind, with this particular chord, you can actually lift a finger and drop it. You can add your pinky right here. Lift it again. You can put your index finger here, which will make it an A major 7th chord. All right. So those are a few ways that you can kind of play some spin-off chords of the A major. Okay, here's the A major. Oh, and let's throw a sus2 as well. A sus2 is just me playing these 2 strings. All right, see that? And that's actually good if you were playing a E minor. You could actually transition really easily from a E minor, which is right here, 2nd fret on the A and D string. Put your fingers here. Remember this, well, I haven't showed the E major yet. We're going to get that later, but a E minor is almost the same position if you keep it the same, but just move it to that next set of strings right here. So if you were to play an E minor, you can very easily switch to a sus2. And if you want to make it sound fancy, like that, but or you can just strum down. Almost every beginner that I show that, like their very, very first chords, they get it almost instantly. Okay. I mean, you still have to make sure that you push it down enough and all that other stuff. Make sure that the notes come out. All right. But they typically remember that. All right. Let's go to the next one. This is G major. A lot of people play the G major with a flattened pinky on the high B and E string. I don't tend to do that, but it's also a G major if you just only put your pinky on the high E string and leave the B string open. Okay, that's still a G major. Again, we're talking about movements and different choices that you can use around a shape that you already play, basically. Okay. So you could simply just lift your pinky. But I think in this particular situation, it is worth it to make sure that you eventually put it back down so that you kind of have somewhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Don't just... So it sounds decent when you put it back down. It's almost like you're completing the sentence, so to speak. So let's turn that upside down real quick. So I have my my ring finger right here on the 3rd fret of the low E string right here, 2nd fret on the A string, and my pinky right here. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of play with my like how I'm positioning it. Okay, I'm gonna lift my middle finger sometimes. So Okay, so these are just different things that you can do with these chords. All right, you don't have to just, you can move it around. After G is E major. Now the way that you play E major is you're playing all strings. The high B, well, the B string and E string are open, and the low E string is open. But second fret on the A and D string, and first fret on the G string, and your index fingers on the G string. Whatever you got available is you can put it on the A and D string on the second fret and just ring it out. Now this, I'm going to show a couple of things that's actually kind of a little different with this, and I'll say that guitar players who are ambitious, a little bit unorthodox, a little bit just, they just have an open mind to try different things. Those are the ones who kind of, it's not that they excel, but they're not thinking in a box, basically. So, but with this E major, basically, you can play strumming down. You got the free pinky again, so we're gonna focus on the second fret. Can't really see what I'm doing. Let me turn it upside down. I'm putting it right there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, I can get it in a little bit more. There we go. See that? And when I strum, I'm really just doing this. Or I'm doing this. I'm literally just, I'm not doing anything like super fancy, okay? I would say that with, I appreciate you dropping a line. Can I play Zombie? Who is that by? There's several songs by the name of Zombie. And I might save that for another time as well. But right now I'm just showing chords. But we'll see. Yeah, just strumming down E major. I showed actually playing on the second fret right here. And if you manage to get your pinky under here, like almost like a reverse A major, but you're playing the pinky on the G string second fret, that's actually a sus4, like a E sus4, and then let it go. Okay, you can do that. So I'm pretty much showing that, but let me show you this real quick. I'm just going to show this. This may not make sense to you, but I just want to show it. All right, so this is for Hello World 77088. You may not have recognized. You said the zoom in image is upside down. This may confuse you, but that's the view that you look at your guitar. It kind of throws people sometimes, but I'm doing that as a help if you don't notice. If I do this, this is the way that you look at your guitar. Okay? So some people are cool with me showing it like this, and that's fine. I can do that. Every now and then, I show it this way too, because you look at your guitar that way. If you have the guitar in your lap, and you can tell me if this makes sense or not, it still might throw you off. But when you're looking at your guitar, you're looking at it just like this. Okay? So I'm showing it for both people who understand it this way and understand it that way. So this is intentional. All right? I'm very aware of that. So, yes. Oh, let me show you this. When you're playing this E major, if you just want to kind of experiment with some other melodic stuff, I'm not going to give it a name, even though it does have a name. Let's move this shape. Okay, let's move this shape, and keep in mind that is, yes, yeah. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention in case I was not aware, because if I was not aware, then But yeah, pretty much what you see is I'm looking straight at it, like I'm looking at the screen right now. But everything that is in this particular position is the same if you go up to the 12th fret. All the notes repeat again, okay? That's still an E major. And guess what? Here's A major. So you kind of get just a different variation of this. Yeah, so there's one thing. Now, you might have to wrap your mind around this, but if you go to the almost like you're playing a A major, but don't play an A major. Keep all the other strings open. Just keep the shape the same. So go like you're playing an A major up here, but lift that up. It's another little trick. You can also go up like you're playing a B major. That's a cool little sound too, right? Here's all I'm doing. Here's my thumb. Let me do this. It's basically like a way that you can resolve, or you might not. You might just want to do that, loop that. And then go back and do the other thing. Another little cool thing to do, okay? Just off playing that one shape and just moving it around. Try it in some other places too, okay? That was E major. Now we're gonna do D major. So here's D major. All right, so we're utilizing the open D. Let me put a pin in that. Okay, the upside down joint. Here's the E. There's the A. Well, it's not an A. It's like you're playing an A major. Like here's the A major, but you're not playing that. You're playing the D. I mean the E major position. Just come in here, and also do it again like you're playing a B major. See that? Back to the D major. All right. Utilize the open D. That's the third string, the fourth string up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then second fret on the high E and the G string. All right. And then ring finger is actually third fret on the B string. So, and then you got your index on the G string, second fret, and middle finger on the second fret of the high E string, ring finger right here. And in this case, you're not playing the lower strings. You're kind of muting that a little bit like that. Oh, wow. I appreciate it. That goes to Will Jr. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sometimes I wonder if if I connect with people sometimes. So that's helpful. Thank you. All right. Again, we got the pinky available. All right. So we can do some things with that within reach, you know. Now you can do other things. You can go all down here, but since we're here, as far as caged system chords, we kind of don't go past the third fret a lot of times, most times. Now you can get creative and do what you want to do, but just keep in mind that any chord that you play open, you can continue to play it open again and go past this 12th fret. So this D major, sorry. I can play it up there too. The C major. The A major. The E major. The G major. Okay, you're playing that part up high. Back to the D major. We got this pinky free, okay? Third fret. All right. So let's go to the upside down joint. All right. Again, pinky is free right here. So that's one thing that you can play. You can, if you'd like, you can flatten your index finger here and you can play a D major 7th. This is a D dominant 7th. So if you wanted to put this in a loop, what's the next chord y'all think that should be? It can be a G major actually. So I don't know if that made sense or not. So with a lot of these movements and these little tricks, if that's what you want to call it, for me, it's not about knowing what the chord is. I know what the chords are. I know what the chord is. I know what it is, but I just like to make use of whatever available finger I have. I just want to see what it sounds like, even if it don't sound good. That's just kind of, it's sort of just expanding your creativity and not being held like captive to third fret, fourth fret, fifth. So what? You know what I mean? It's like, I even say with the caged system, like after you know these chords, after you know the C, A, G, E, D, don't get stuck on that. It's only a starting point. There's so much to learn after that. Okay, like when you learn your C major, also learn every chord in the C major key. So you can you can do that. Okay, with I think you can do it with G. Yeah, so G is so or yeah, you can do G open in like the open position. So I'm deviating a little bit. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. But yeah, C you can do all open in terms of every chord. You can do it in the open position. So that's pretty much G. So I don't know if y'all saw what I was doing. So there are chords that go with all of that. So we've done C, A, G, E, D. Now what I kind of inserted in there at some point, at some point you kind of saw me insert this. But since you know E major, well, if you lift your index finger, that's a E minor. This is E major. This is E minor. So that's pretty much, what that is. Yeah, this is to, yeah. Gospel chords are sweet. That's gospel chords. This is to Buddha 15, 235. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, those are sweet for sure. This is a beginner lesson. You know what I'm saying? I got plenty of videos with those types of chords for sure. And I'm gonna kind of get to what you're talking about as well. So yes, this is a E minor. Okay. So I showed the E major. Now, real quick, let's talk about why the E major is an E major and why the E minor is an E minor. The reason is the intervals. It's one thing to just play chords and play shapes. Okay? Now keep in mind I didn't drop it in, but yeah, for sure. But it's still a progression. I'm doing the beginner because someone says, man, you don't be doing videos for the beginners. I'd be like, I do. I just don't get feedback from the beginners. So I kind of don't, sometimes I forget, because I did a bunch of them and I wasn't getting no feedback. But what I also realized was that what I realized is that some beginners, and this is just word to the wise, some beginners don't like, if you're playing something that's more advanced than what they can play, they feel a little intimidated and think that they're kind of getting in the way if they say something. No, this channel is for beginner to intermediate players. And it's, for me, I don't like focusing on beginner stuff. I like focusing on intermediate as well. I don't like just doing intermediate. I like to service everybody in that arena. Okay. Yeah, so that's where I am. So why is a E major an E major? We get stuck on memorizing shapes and don't understand why we're doing it. Well, I'm gonna just bring the whole do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do thing. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I mean, we know what that is. That's how an E major scale sounds. I could also play it here. Okay. So that is very important. That simple major scale is extremely important because if you know a major scale, if you just know that by itself, sometimes it's kind of tricky because my head is at the top of the screen and I be trying to fit my guitar in my head and I got to back up. But then if I back up, I can't reach the mouse. So it's like, it's kind of tricky. So that's like a fun fact. I guess not, but moving on. So if you know the major scale in general, just the intervals of the major scale, I'm not going to get into what that is, but we all know what the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do thing is. Like, we know how to hit it with our voices. It ain't perfect, but we know it. So a major chord consists of the 1, the 3, and the 5. And that means it's the first note of the major scale, the third note, 1, 2, 3, that note, and the fifth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a major chord consists of this, this, and this. That's it. It's just, it spans over, you know, all the strings, and you make sure you just pick the right notes. And I mean, we can go more into that on a different video. But that's why it's not just, here's the E major shape. I get tired of them videos like, it's easy, just do this. They be trying to get you to click on it, and that's cool. I get that. You should click on it. But everything, some stuff just needs to be explained a little more. And not everybody wants to know why. So I get that too. Why is the other one, why is that a minor chord? Well, just like I use the major chord intervals, there are minor chord intervals as well. So the minor sounds a little bit different in terms of its scale. So the minor chord has what you call a flatted, like the third is also a 1, 3, and 5, but it's a 1 flatted 3 and 5. So these are the intervals of a minor chord. Here's the actual scale. So that's like, is that like a natural minor? Yeah, I think. So, yeah, so that's what that is. So that's the one difference. It's really just changing that one interval. And that's why if you were to play the major chord, that's the major chord. And if you lift one finger, that flatted third. So if I were to play the major scale, there's that third right there, but the third is up here. You know, so all the notes up from the scale land on those places. Here is the flatted third. And there's the third right there. So that's why. And so we're not randomly picking random notes or shapes. One thing that I don't like to do, I don't like teaching, I don't like only teaching chords. Okay. In my private community, only teaching chords, scratch all that. I give you a starting place. I give you a place to start, right? After I give you a place to start, you know, I'm going into the why. You know, why is this way? Why is that shaped that way? Okay. But I don't encourage a lot of memorization. Okay. I do. I like to say, okay, memorize these few things. Everything else will be, the first few things will be foundational. So it is important to memorize the foundational things. But after you memorize the foundational things, everything else is going to hang off of those things. So then you're just applying a level of theory and just things like that. You're going to apply a level of theory to the foundational things that you know. Okay. So it doesn't require as much memorization as you might think. So I just think that you're kind of chasing your tail if you go around memorizing chords. You don't have to do that, and you're going to take longer memorizing stuff in that way. But if you know how to play the major scale and you lock that in, just spend time on that. Lock in how to play the major scale and being able to count the major scale. If you know how to count 1 through 7 and you know those intervals, then cool. Okay, and start there first. Like, don't even memorize the minor scale, because if you don't know the major, you're not going to know the minor. Might not make a whole lot of sense to you. Then you're going to end up memorizing the minor. Memorize the major first, and then a rule to play a minor scale is flat the third from the major scale. That's just that rule, and that's all you got to know. Okay, flat the third. And there are minor scales within the major scale depending on where you start. So know the major scale first. The shapes are just a starting point. That's it. All right. So far, we've talked about C major chord, A major chord, G major, okay, E major, G major. Then we went to E minor, and we also added, like, from the A major, A sus2. We added that in there. But also, just like we did the E major, and we lifted our finger and we were able to play the E minor, well, you can do something similar with the A major, but you just have to place your index finger right here, lift this pinky, you got A minor. See what I'm saying? So that's like in the open position, you're able to actually achieve that. Now, if you lift this ring finger, now you're playing at A minor 7th. And if you see, since you have this ring finger available, you can make that C major. So now you can play an actual chord progression by playing the C major and just lift that ring finger, and now you're playing C major in A minor 7th. So now you can. So a lot of these chords you can achieve actually relatively easy once you know how to play one chord. So let me do it upside down for some of you who didn't see. Let me go here. See that? And that can be a whole song. You know, that could be a good place to actually like practice from. Here's the E minor to A sus2. That's something you can do. Here's the C major, right? And since you already have this shape going, you could actually take the index, well, the middle finger and the ring finger, and just switch it right there. That's a good transition. These are good transition chords. When you want to play more than one chord, just do that. And for the sake of convenience, okay, play the C major chord, right? But remember, if you lift your index finger, That's a C major 7th. But go ahead and put your pinky here, right? So you got that sound. So this way you can just move the middle finger and ring finger. And you're playing a C major 7th to a G major. So okay. So yeah, those are just a few little tricks. All right. I just wanted to share that. Okay. And maybe I can kind of get off into some other stuff for a few minutes. Oh, the other part was with that E major, remember? Coming here. Now I can make this sweet if I want to. Or tasteful, right? So I did that with the E major. I kind of threw that in there just to kind of let y'all see it. All right. So that's like something that y'all can use, okay? Conveniently still, because this E major is open and you're only fretting these 3 notes, and you can ring out that low E, okay? And I'm telling you, some very skillful guitar players, they be doing stuff like that, and it's not all that impressive. They just got really good technique, and y'all be dropping y'all jaws at oh my God, how does he do that? They got the shoulders going and they all in your face, and you're like, how does he do that? And then all they doing is just they ain't did nothing special. You can do that too. You can do it too. I'm just saying, you can do it too. And I'm not gonna say it's easy per se, but it's very doable. Very doable. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much that. Now back on, someone mentioned guitar players such as Justin Gray, Isaiah Sharkey, Jarris Mosey, awesome guitar players. Period. My hats go off to these guys. And my hats also go off to the guys that the people that taught them, okay, and gave them the knowledge. All right, my hat go off to Spanky Alfred. Like, these are people who came before. All right, Jubal Smith, they came before them. All right, as far as people who we know in the commercial eye. I keep my eye on George Benson. You know, that's somebody, that's who I look at. So let's kind of, you know, it's been about an hour I've been on camera. So I know some people go to work, you know, I'm just adding this, you know, don't get into you rambling too much stuff. Don't do that. In other words, don't tell me that I'm rambling. Like, save that. So let's go back to the key of C, right? Remember I was saying in the key of C, you can do all open chords in the key of C. You can do that, right? There's an open C major. Okay, here is the D minor. I'm playing that wrong. That's in the open position. Then we got, okay, the next one, then we got the G major. So okay, so those are the open chords of C major, but that's straight major, straight minor. So let's play it again. This is actually minor. I'm doing something wrong. Let's F major. Well, if I change the structure of these chords, instead of playing like play this. Remember the C major 7. Or I can play it this way. Okay, so now I'm changing the whole structure of the chords, right? So now I can go. So that's like a different way, a much different sound. I can play straight major minor. So or I can do it both ways, okay, depending on what type of flavor I want. And you know, you can add your hammer-ons in there. And there are even more things that I can do that I, you know, so much more. I mean, I can. You know, you can do all those little movements, double stops. I talk about all this stuff in my community in depth, okay? So just know all the bends, stuff like that. Hybrid picking. Now hybrid picking is this. Let me show you. I'm utilizing a combination of my pick and using any of my fingers that are free. And I could play, let's say I want to play a C major, okay? I'm just playing a C major chord. I can play it this way open, like I showed y'all before. Or I can play it this way. But let's say I'm utilizing this shape right here. It's still the same notes. But if I want to use hybrid picking, so I'm using my pick, you see that? But I'm also using an available finger or a set of free fingers to play other notes. So I'm literally, slowly, I'm doing this. Pick, pluck with my finger. Then let go with this finger. Okay, so I'm doing that all, not at the same time, but in a sequence. Pick, use this finger, let go. You know what I'm saying? So I plucked first and let go. So, and if you put time into that and actually like practice that, you can do some impressive stuff. So yeah, there's a lot that you can do on guitar with little tricks. Now, the more recent stuff that I was showing you is more so technique. I showed you shapes and, you know, little things that you can do. But then there's another part where you're adding to like technique. There are different techniques to play, you know, a lot of different things. Some of the simple stuff. So if I were to play a C major chord, I can play it by strumming it. Or I can and this is some of the stuff I was showing you. Like, you can do a lot of different things with the notes that are already there under your fingers. Just lift the finger. So, I don't know if that makes sense. Let me turn it upside down. All right. Still. C major. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm just, yeah, that's not going to work. And those of you, feel free to subscribe if you want to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just, my thumb and the rest of my fingers that I got available, I'm just, so when I'm playing, I'm either doing this or I'm doing that. Okay, so let's go back upside down. So as I'm doing that, I'm just changing what each finger is playing right here, okay? So you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing. But yeah, so that is what I wanted to share. I just felt the need to share some stuff. This is not one of those things. Well, I'll just say this is one of those things. I went backwards. That I'm just sharing. You know, it's almost like, hey man, you know, you knock on my door and hey, can you show me how to play that? It's that type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? You kind of look over my shoulder and I'm just kind of just showing you little things for the sake of the discussion. You know, it ain't, you know, all the edits popping in your face. That's cool. And that keeps your attention for a long time. But, you know, sometimes it's the guy next door type approach that helps you to remember it more. This is, what's up, 12. I'm trying to pronounce it. Okay. The one starting with 12 and ending with 86. He says, he or she says, I think it's he, do you have to pull off correctly? Your second note usually feel weak when I do pull off. Yes, you do have to pull off correctly. So here's how you do it. As you're pulling off, you gotta pull down at the same time. So you're like creating a plucking effect, if that makes sense. So if I have my finger here, I can pull off like off the string, and it does make a sound if I pull right off, but it's different when I pull down. And you ain't got to pull it down perfectly, but that's going to literally pluck it. So don't pull off, pull down, kind of do a down motion. So if I'm doing this, so I'm not pulling off like, you know, if I lift it off of the board, it's not gonna sound as loud. And sometimes you want to do that if you intentionally just want it to be a quieter note, and that's fine too. But if you want to utilize that available finger and you want it to sound off, kind of pull it down. Does that make sense? And it's something that you gotta practice. Okay, like the first week it might be kind of tricky. After that, it's like, oh, okay, I'm kind of getting a sense of this. So let me know if that makes sense. Everything in playing guitar, everything has a technique. Okay, and some of the techniques are somebody just got to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all this stuff I share in my private community. Um, I go into more depth in there. So I mean, it's worth me saying that I'm still showing you the stuff that I'm showing you, but there's even more access to me there. If there's anyone on here at some point you want more like in-depth stuff, with like charts and all that other stuff, go to the community. My link is actually in the description of this video. It is also in the if you actually go to my channel, it's actually there as well. So and sometimes people don't see this, but I think that it's worth sharing. All right. But like right here, if you go right here, right under where it says the Guitar Players Club by Kashif Music, see this more? Well, you ain't even got to hit more, but it's right here. Boom. theguitarplayers.club. That's it. And my services is, usually one lesson is like $50. Y'all can let me know if you agree or not. But for me, it's $30 a month. Okay. So that's the subscription model. I do want to take 30 seconds to say this, and then I'll kind of briefly get back on some guitar stuff, and then we can reconvene at a different time. But I'm saying this for the sake of, so that you're not shortchanging yourself. And oh yeah, no problem. I'm happy that it's helpful. Even if you don't utilize me as a guitar instructor, you're doing yourself a disservice by not investing your money. You're like, even your learning potential is diminished if you don't spend money, because when you pay, you take it more seriously. Believe it or not, you take it, even if you spend $5, you take it way more seriously. You hold yourself way more accountable if you spend money. People pride themselves on watching free YouTube videos because it's free. Well, you still got to spend your time, which is in a lot of cases more valuable than money. And you're spending more. You got to find the right thing. But if you find a good guitar instructor, whether it's me or not, I don't care. I mean, I want you to choose me, but I'm more concerned about you having opportunity to be creative. That's my aim. Spend the money. Trust me, you spending the money anyway. Those of you who say you don't have the money, you spending the money. Now, if you just broken, you got no job and you living off everybody else, I'm not talking to you. If you got medical bills and you're, your money's tied up, I'm not talking to you. But those of you who you make minimum wage, or you make $15 an hour and you work 30 hours a week, you got the money to spend $30 a month, to spend $50 a month for somebody else. So I'm just mentioning that you got the money. Sometimes we want to spend it on Starbucks, or we want to spend it on Netflix, or we want to spend it on, and we want to do that rather than something enriching. So let me get off that. But I wanted to say that because sometimes we forget to invest in ourselves, and we pride ourselves on getting something free, and you're actually hurting yourself by doing that. And you take it more seriously when you pay for it, and you get more out of it. And you're actually a factor in the transformation process, is you showing up and you paying, and you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, even if we go to Walmart or whatever shopping center we go to, you take seriously that you went and bought a box of cereal because you about to eat this box of cereal. You take seriously that you went to get this pack of meat or these cans of beans. You take that seriously because you about to eat these cans of beans. So we pride ourselves on what we spend money on, and we expect a transformation, and we show up. But when it's YouTube, we're going to do it when we're ready. We're going to do it at our own pace. we don't know why we haven't gotten better, because we know that it'll be there. It's different. When you spend money, you have a higher expectation of yourself, not just the teacher. So I just wanted to say that, you know, you can watch my videos as much as you want to on YouTube. Do your thing, you know, but I'm gonna be saying, I'm not gonna like beat a dead horse with it, but I'm just saying, like, some people get caught up in, I don't have the money. No, you got the money. You're just you're prioritizing it a certain way, and when you're done with what you're doing, you ain't got nothing left. But if you prioritize it differently, somebody saying they don't have the money is like they're saying they don't have the time, and that's a lie too. Because you agree to stuff that you ain't got to agree to. Now, let me get one person who agree with me to give me a amen in the comments who agrees. And maybe not. Maybe you don't agree. But I'm just sitting here rambling myself, but y'all are so gracious to listen. But I might cut this part out of the live. So I'm just gonna recap one more time. So we got E major. Well, let me do it in order. C major, A major, G major, E major, D major, E minor, A sus2, A minor. Okay. I could have thrown in D minor. I could have thrown in that. Here's G minor. Here's C minor. I didn't talk about that. But D, G, D, A, E, then C. I said with the E major and the little melodic thing I was doing. You know, if you get a good picking situation going on right here, like pluck it with your thumb over here, and then use your other 3 fingers to just kind of do a little rhythmic thing, and just go in those places. That's a whole song. Let's go to the B one. Or if you want to just strum it. Put some different dynamics in it. This is all technique. What would the melody be though? Ooh, that's a good. What would the words be? And now the notes, I got the notes from the actual chord, so I'm not randomly picking notes. Da, 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 da. I'm walking down the street, and I don't know where I'm going. I'm just saying, y'all just have fun with it, man. Don't take yourself too seriously. And that's just off that E major shape right here. You see, it's right there. So yes, join the community if you would like to, if that is good for you. And like I said, I go into way more depth, and I go, I meet privately, not privately, like not, you know, just me and you. If you got questions, I can answer questions directly. I can add to the courses directly. You know what I'm saying? Based off your request, and other people benefit from it. But yeah, it's like, real cool. I mean, people have actually been enjoying it. It's brand new. I really just opened it, and right now is a good time because before there are like tens of people in this community, you actually got more access to me. So, and I give free evaluations to just, if you don't know where to go from here, like wherever you are in your guitar journey, if you just want to meet me on Zoom real quick, hey man, listen, Kashif, I don't know what to do next or whatever. Free call. You ain't gotta buy it. You ain't gotta buy nothing. It's just, hey man, I just need this advice. I'm available. It's free. For those who don't want to pay, I'm available. So only 2 people have reached out to me in 6 months. I'm available. That's all I got to say. There will be a day when I'm not available. And I'm not the only guitar instructor, so I'm not trying to make it like that. But I pride myself on being someone who's pretty down to earth, and I'm pretty like easy to connect with. You know what I'm saying? And there have been a lot of complaints and guitar learners turned off by bad experiences with guitar instructors. I just don't think that I'm a bad guitar instructor. I'm not perfect, but I'm attentive. I'm sensitive to what you need, and hopefully I get you to a place that you want to go. So just putting it out there. Y'all would be mad at me if I had said nothing. So figured I would say that. So I'll hang for a couple of minutes. If you have any other questions, this is the time. Otherwise, I'll see y'all at a different time. Shoot, I could put some delay on here. Let's do this. Actually, the delay is not supposed to do that. There we go. It's supposed to be a little stereo vibe. There are no questions. I know there are a few people still on. Going once, going twice. Hello world, you answered my comment on one of my posts telling me to play B major triad instead of the full. Yeah, shouldn't I learn to play the full chord properly first? I mean, yeah, that's, I'm not stuck on rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know what the chord is, just keep it in mind as a roadmap. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, in terms of like as a rule of thumb, yes, it's good to know the full chord first. But it's like after you know, like don't be stuck on it. Like if you want to play the A major, no. You said B major triad. So there's B major, or I can play the B major up here. Just keep a mental note, is like of where these different positions are. Here's B major. Here's B major. I can play B major like this. And there was another chord you was talking about. I think you said going from F sharp 7. I think you said that, right? So you don't have to play the full chord. Like you can do that, or you can do this. I'm gonna find a way to or another way. You can kind of play the top 3 or 4 strings. You do that. That's essentially a triad. It's not. It may not be technically the 1, 3, and 5, or the 1, 3, and flat 7 or whatever, but you're playing 3-note chords, you know. So you could just which is just you're still playing the chord. Just keep it as a road map of F sharp, B major. After you got that, just you know that you're going to be playing your second fret on the E string with both chords. So since you know that, keep the remaining of the shape of the F sharp major. So, and figure out the least distance between changing each chords or changing the triads. So when you forget this in terms of like the full shape of the thing, when you change it to a triad, you're only doing this. So I don't know if I simplified that for you or not, but I'm just saying, and when you simplify it like that, you can do more with how you simplify it, because now now that's technique. That's a technique that you learn over time. But I'm just saying, I did more with less notes than, I got more notes, so that's kind of what I'm getting at. So I don't know if that helps. You said yes, so cool. I did my job. How to find the root key when playing in a jam. That's a tricky one, but very doable. I mean, it's tricky for someone who's trying to figure it out, In some cases, you ain't got to worry about that. If you know the chords that are being played, then just play the chords. Now, if you want to go beyond just the chords and you want to solo and stuff like that, then yes, it is very important to know what the root is. Okay. So, for example, you're saying like how to find the root key. I'm going to explain this as clearly as I can in the shortest amount of time. So, for your information, I am going to be in the key of C, okay? But, let me give you this reference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a C major. There's the 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all those chords land on a number in terms of the simple way to explain it. Now I could say C major, D minor, E minor, F major. I could say that, but I'm just saying in a jam situation, they might be calling out numbers. Okay. But let's say I'm playing like a 2 and 3 chord progression. All right. And it goes like this. Now, if you're doing this right here over that chord progression, that it doesn't go. Okay. Unless you're playing around with some modes and you're kind of deviating and coming back, but you got to know how to come back to it. But let's just say that's what you're playing. So and that's all you're playing. Now, 2 minor chords played back and forth to that, like what, in that way, in a major key, that can only be a 2 and 3. Only. Now, there are 3 minor chords in a major key. That is the 2, the 3, and the 6. Those are the only 3. The major chords are the 1, the 4, and the 5. That's it. Other than that, the 7 is like a half diminished chord. And back to 1 again. But if you know that 2 and 3 are the only minor chords, because if it was let's say a 5 and 6, that's a major chord going to a minor chord. Okay. But anytime there's just that minor chord going to a minor chord, like one whole step from one another, that's the 2 and 3. So if you know that information, it doesn't take a whole lot to memorize or reference this. But without knowing the key, okay, if I'm listening and I hear the bass note, and the bass note is, and that's all they're playing, and then the other notes are, and I'm saying minor chords, right? Minor chords only. It is very likely that you're in the key of C. Okay. If you're playing a D minor and E minor in particular, and it's the 2 and 3. Okay. And it's a snapshot that you kind of just have in your mind, and you just know. And I could be in another key. I could be in the key of A major, and in this case, the B, the 2 is the B minor, and the C sharp is the 3. The C sharp minor is the 3 of that key. And if it's going like this, if that's how the jam goes, and those are the only minor chords that are being played, and it's only 2 of them, and it's going back and forth, like, it's just a mental note. Okay, I know that this is a 2 and this is a 3. So I don't have to play the 1 in order to participate, but I can know where the 1 is. And if I'm, you know what I'm saying? I know where my scales are supposed to go. You see what I'm saying? If I'm playing in a jam. Okay. So holler at me if that made sense to you. And you might not know that now, but hopefully what I'm explaining made sense to you. Like there are other scenarios. Like if you're going from a 3 to 4, let's say, for instance, like it's easy to mix up 3 and 4 and a 7-1 chord progression. Like if a chord progression, let's go back to C. Let's say if we're going from 3 to 4. Like if it does alphabet, I kind of get it mixed up with like interval wise. But in that case, I'm listening to whatever melodies are being sang. I'm listening to other things that's going to give me like some sort of a clue. And then the more I play, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play that major chord and see if it fits. Not major chord, but major scale, and see if it fits. If it don't fit, I'm referencing the wrong key right now, and let me figure it out, But I talk about all that stuff, I'm sure I have a couple of videos up. I don't know exactly which one right now, but I go into depth in the private community for sure, like, because that's one major topic. Okay. But let me know if that helped at all. And if you got any other question, drop it now. Let me know if that helped. Okay. Yeah, Hello World 7088. I'm glad that helped you. So yeah. 12 Minkoa 86. Let me know if that helped. Because I just, I want to help. I really do. I don't know. He probably jumped off. But yeah, starting off with that major scale, and then knowing what chords belong to the major scale. And then from there, you can familiarize yourself with those intervals. And as you, like me talking right now, it might sound like gibberish a little bit. Yeah. Hey, it's one of those things, you only get better if you're in it. And you might have to crash and burn like one good time. And that happens to all of us, And you got to be okay with that. Either you dive in or you just stay out of it and you wondering what's happening, You can play it safe if you want. It's nothing wrong with that too, I can help you. I can definitely help you. And there, I go live, so there are definitely times that, I'm gonna be going live and stuff. And yeah. It's just like I can address it in one video, but that would be too quick. Like I could do it and I know what I'm saying, but in order for the people to know, I have to do it in at least like 3 videos. You know what I'm saying? Maybe another guitar instructor can do it and say, it's so easy. Okay. All right. I mean, it's easy to you, or, it's easy to me. I know how to figure it out by hearing it. But for somebody who's, it's a language, And regardless of how fast they're playing, you can, if they're playing like 4 chords in a chord progression, like the way I described it, it was like a watered down version of figuring out what key you're in. You know what I'm saying? But you can figure out a key pretty, like if you listen to it long enough, and well, if you learn songs long enough, like just let's say over the course of some months, day 1 of learning songs is going to be different from day 90. Like you're going to pick up on it in a way that you might not even be able to explain. Okay. So that's something I would have to explain in multiple videos, maybe like 3 or even 2 to get it. And the reason why it would be 3 or 2 is because some people don't want the video to be an hour long, or they don't want it to be 30 minutes long. That's too long for some people. You got to split it up into 10-minute videos, make it bite size, So, and it's something that I would try to make work for a lot more people. But yes. but let me, like, I'm here. I'm here. If you got another question, just drop another question. We can have a conversation about it. Otherwise, I'm gonna think that you're good. So let me play some music. And by the way, this is music I made, just in case y'all are wondering. That's just, I make instrumentals. One of the ways that I actually got better at playing guitar was, I think someone else is saying this. I don't know, what was it? Was it you, Hello World? I think you mentioned that you record. That's one of the main ways that I got better at guitar. I got so frustrated at sounding so bad, I would just keep doing it until it sounded the way I wanted it to sound. That was over 20 years ago. I'm in my 40s now. So, but yeah, that's one of the main ways that I actually got better. Okay, cool. Yeah. I read the comments. I read the comments. You know what I'm saying? I don't get so much to where I don't see it. But yeah, for Hello World 7088, I'm just letting you know that was one of the ways that really drove my motivation, was because I like music production. I really like that. First, to be quite honest, I like producing music more than playing it live, even though I do it every week, 3 times a week. But before I became a live musician, I had my software and I would be in my room figuring it out. And if I didn't like what I recorded, erase. Maybe I didn't like the timing, erase it, play it again. Man, dog, I gotta try it again tomorrow. Let me try it again. Let me record this, and maybe I can fix it by shifting the time. Sometimes I couldn't, because the first half, I didn't like the first half. I liked the second half. I didn't want to cheat too much, so I wanted to play the whole thing right, all the way through. It would be stuff like that I would do. And some of us, like we have more tools. We got so many tools available to sound good. It's actually crippling us a little bit. So I would actually challenge myself and play it correctly all the way through without using all of the special tools if it was for fun. Okay. And that's what I would do. And over the years, I just got good enough to where my technique improved, my hand strength improved. So I went from playing one single chord, literally. I would hit record and play one chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just put a beat with it. And I would take that same chord and I would copy it, paste it, transpose it, and it would be another chord, and that would be my beat. That's how I did it. But I got tired of doing that. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't let it cripple you. Let it be just a stamp in the journey to where you have somewhere else to go. So for me, I went from that to in doing that for the full duration of the song. The sauce is when you can do it for a full song. You can record a full song without stopping, and it sounds good the whole way through. That's what I was aiming for. And once I was able to do that, I was able to do it in a live setting. Okay. And I was prepared. I literally got in a live setting and I was able to do it. Period. Off a recording. So yeah. Yep. I ain't hear nothing back from 12 Mink Koa 86. I didn't hear anything back from him, so that's what's up. But yo, some of y'all stuck around for almost 2 hours, or a good portion of it. But my clock says an hour and 40 minutes, and y'all was like hanging out. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. This is a B Worm 2545. It says, "Hello, my man. Just joined the stream. I've been off and on with the guitar. Do you have any advice on how I can work on moving my pinky and ring finger independently?" I'm gonna be honest. Practice slow. I mean, do the boring. Listen, I've practiced enough. Like, I know what it's like to practice and doze off during practice. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm not saying that you have to do what I do. You don't have to use me as a measure of how you do stuff. But I don't do it every single time. But sometimes when I practice to the point to where I'm almost like, but that's me. But this is because I know that if I don't feel resistance, I'm not getting better. You know, if you're in the gym and you can lift the weight that you're lifting comfortably without no resistance, you're not getting stronger at all. You can brag about being in the gym if you want to, but you're not getting stronger. So I said all that to say, don't be afraid of resistance. Look for resistance. So if, let's just say, I was explaining earlier, I don't know if you saw what I was talking about. And if you're playing a chord, and let's say you're trying to do this, but in time, and you can't figure out how to really get that timing right, then slow it way down, like 60 BPM. And the goal with the whole 60 BPM thing is that you want you want to be able to bury the click on a metronome. So at first, that is not going to be that way. It's not going to be to where you're burying the click. So let me see. All right, so this may or may not even be on time. So I'm playing this click right. So there may be a delay, but I'm just saying, with this click, I want to be so accurate that I don't hear the click. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm off, that just means I'm not there. So if I'm playing a chord, so there should be an element to where if I play so accurately, I don't hear the click. You see what I'm saying? Have a good night. Hope that I was helpful. Thanks for even participating. I appreciate you. So yeah, the whole idea is to bury the click. You shouldn't hear the click. Like, if you're playing accurately, you shouldn't hear the click. Okay. Now sometimes you're going to hear it, but I'm saying the better you get, it's going to be to where you don't hear it that much. Okay. So like the rhythm is what you want to get. And if that pinky is just not, doing what you wanted to do, well, focus in on that pinky, like. Like do some sort of repetitive. I got a bunch of exercises in my community that would actually benefit you. I might actually do a video showing those, but I got a bunch of. I mean, you can do the, you know, everybody talk about the spider exercise, right? Like. I mean, that's an exercise. You can go. You can do that. Ah. So saw how I messed up. Anytime I mess up, I go back and redo it. So you know, that's I do stuff like that to get my dexterity pretty cool. Yeah, if you can do it slow, you can do it fast. The only thing is you may have to sort of as you slowly speed it up, just pay attention to what's getting in the way. You know, if you do it slow and you're good at it slow, cool. But if you speed it up 10 BPM, like you should be able to be accurate in 10 BPM increments. But as soon as you start getting off, figure out what's getting in the way. It might be that you're lifting your pinky too high or lifting any finger too high, and you have to focus on keeping it as low as possible, and then you got to go back and keep it low. If it's not working, well, go back and make sure you keep it low. It's different when you're doing this. You wasting a lot of motion doing that, and it's different when you like this. You're gonna be way faster, and you're gonna spend a lot less energy doing that. You see what I'm saying? It's little stuff like that. You pay attention to your range of motion. See this right here? Versus different. So yeah. So that is it. Yo, it is like 12:30 right now. Even though I'm wide awake, I know that some of us on the East Coast, y'all are done. And it's a little earlier on the West Coast and the Midwest. So, but I'm here in Georgia. So, but all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. Yo, y'all kicked it. Some of y'all kicked it with me for almost 2 hours, and I appreciate it. All right, and for Sun 3MK, I appreciate that. I appreciate that as far as the tone. Thank you so much. I'll catch y'all on another one. All right, love y'all. Peace.